Tanahk only sessions. Drop. What it do? ShaBat. We've been talking Exodus for a long time. We've been talking our Exodus for a long time, Tanahk. I want to talk our Exodus again, man, with a dragonfly perspective, because ain't no topic, ain't no social media topic more important than your Exodus from captivity. Ain't no more important topic than being free. Did you forget? Being free should be your number one priority. For your children's sake. For their children's sake. How do we get free? Do we just take to the streets, hands up, don't shoot, do some marching, do some looting? Well, we will have to spoil them. We will have to spoil them. And I ain't talking about like you spoil a child. I'm talking about getting all that, all the material things. All the loot, right? We're going to get that in the book of Exodus chapter 3. But let's pop off first with Exodus chapter 1. Yeah, we will have to, strip this hijack. Eventually. They will give you everything they have. But how do we get to that point? How do we get free, my night? Exodus 20 got us in code. KTC. Keep the code. With the code comes freedom. Out of code comes slavery, boss. Ain't you tired of slavery? So let's talk Exodus. And let's talk Exodus chapter 1 with a dragon flit-eye perspective. Let's pop off. Tanahk only session. Now these are the names. Now these are the names of the sons of Hasharah who came into Egypt with HaWah, Jacob. Every man came with his household. Reuben, Simon, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. And Joseph was in Egypt already, and Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. Verse 7, and the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, who knew not Joseph. He didn't know Yosef. This hijacked king didn't want to know the pure one, the mighty one, Yosef. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are too many and too mighty for us, boss. These niggas is popping off in Nagaville, man. The king of Egypt was shook because your unity is your greatest weapon, my nigga. HaWah made us fruitful people. They're not just so many of them, they are what? Mighty. You could be many and not be mighty. but you are mighty. Verse 9, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. Come, let us deal wisely with them, like, Psalms chapter 83, confederacy. They say, yeah, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no longer in remembrance. And that's why we call it Israel, even though we know it's not called Israel. Our ancestors never said the word Israel. They never said the word Israelite. Because the name is remembered no more, we've been cut off from being a nation. We're putting the pieces back together. Humpty Dumpty got to get put back together again. Verse 10, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it came to pass that when there befalleth us any war, they also join themselves into our enemies and fight against us, because they knew we weren't no treaty-making Nagas. We the Sheik of Mabu. We didn't make no treaties with this hijack. They're afraid of us joining to their enemies, huh? Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh store cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied. Ain't that the Naga though? How y'all having all these babies? You barely have enough, to scrap together. The more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied. And the more they spread abroad. And they were a dread because of the children of Israel. They were shook, man. They were shook because of you, your power, you're mighty. Even when being afflicted, we mighty. Even after all this peaceful slavery, we've been mighty. And every time a mighty Naga step up, they try to knock him down, right? Not this time, a Naga, because Nagaville's standing up. Nagaville's stepping up. In code with the code of HaWah. HaWah. We ain't coming with that Christianity. We ain't coming with that Islam. We're coming with the 9 commandments of HaWah. That's when you return, my Naka. That's when you get your power back, man. Halal HaWah. Your Nagaville sprouting out all over. So if they want to, pop off like that, they gonna have to be ready. Yeah, I don't think they ready. Not like if you ain't ready to get your freedom, I don't think they're ready to even feel like they have a chance against you, against the power within you, against the power that we serve, against the Creator, MHOE, Most High over everything. So they're building up their cities. They were shook because of the children of Israel. Verse 13, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. You can go read the book of Jasher, It goes way more in detail about this Moshe story and this flow. So go dig on it, man. We done dropped on it, man. The Egyptians made Israel to serve with rigor, right? What are you doing every day? Even if you got your own businesses, you still are serving in this system, man. We're still not free. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got my own business, boss, but you still paying taxes, boss. I just bought some land, boss, but I'm still paying taxes, boss. So just doing it and going through the motion don't free you. You got to really be free. And if you did, use your straw man and do a UCC filing and now you're a sovereign, man, that don't free you, man. Because you got free paperwork. Now you can get the Morris shield, man. Like, look, you still get jammed up at any minute. They still will have the drop on you. You're not free until your people free. It ain't enough for you just to be sovereign. It's for you to really be free on your own land. Hijack free, man. It's everything or nothing. Dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery, man. Because peaceful slavery is seeming real dangerous these days. Oh, yeah. Tenderoni, huh? Oh, yeah. Peaceful slavery is seeming real dangerous these days. So you got danger on both sides. One leads to freedom. The other leads to more peaceful slavery. And they made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar and in brick, and all manner of service in the field. And all their service wherein they made them serve with rigor. And the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives. The king of Egypt, the president, right, or whoever's behind the scenes, spoke to the Hebrew midwives, the nurses, of whom the name of the one was Shiphrah, Shiphar, or A-H. And the name of the other was Puah, P-U-A-H. And he said, when you do the office of the midwife to the human, or Shalak to the Hebrew woman, you shall look upon the birth stool. If it be a son, then you shall kill him. So the Pharaoh, you know how the Moors move around with the permission of the Pharaoh? This same Pharaoh literally wanted to kill all firstborn sons of the Iberu tribes, all right? And don't say he's a white man, because I'm talking about the damn king of Egypt. From the kings of Atlantis, right? The raw niggas, right? So look at all these Planned Parenthoods and this and this and that, and you know what I'm saying? A Yeezy said it, abortion, man. That's the most dangerous time for a child. It's just in the mama's belly, man, right? For many reasons, but definitely with all these, pushing on these abortions. You know what I'm saying? So, it's it's a dangerous slope. But we see that they've always wanted to kill our firstborn. This ain't nothing new. Our child, from the moment they born, with the birth certificate and everything else, they're part of the system. There's a target on them. And we all just trying to conduct ourselves, navigate ourselves through the water. Let's go. If he's a son, you shall kill him. But if it's a daughter, then she shall live. It's kind of like today, you know what I'm saying? They'll do the welfare for the woman as long as the male's not in the house, right? So fuck them, kill them. But we'll take care, we'll make the jobs or whatever easier, for our women to, sometimes have more success than the men trying to get the same jobs. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, it's a raising up of our women over us to emasculate us. You know what I'm saying? They're more insecure around us, but they like to flirt with our women. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have highly qualified sisters, obviously, and obviously our sisters, been popping off. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is how the system operates against the males, man. And even though our sisters are also being gunned down, by the police, by, all kinds of, what I'm saying? I mean, shit, by each other, you know what I mean? It's mainly the males that are targeted, you know what I'm saying, with all these killings all the time, public lynchings, public killings. But the hijack, they don't care. They try to make Naga barbecues, right? But the midwives feared HaWah and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them. So HaWah gave you favor. Some of us wouldn't be alive today had HaWah not given us favor for the remnant to exist right here now. So the Egyptian women said, nah, we ain't gonna do that. We respect the Most High over everything. And they saved the men, children, alive. Verse 18, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have you done this thing, and have saved the men, children alive? And the midwives said unto the Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, we're just looking at this for the dragonfly perspective. Exodus chapter 1. What's the difference between a Hebrew sister and an Egyptian sister? Is there something, we just think they're all black. Black, 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 bliggity, bliggity, black. But the Egyptian women are noticing a difference between them and the Hebrew women. Verse 19, the midwife said unto Pharaoh, quote, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively. Whoa, sisters, you are lively. Talking to the Aqua. What does it mean to be a lively Aqua? What does it mean to be a lively Aqua? And are delivered here, the midwife come unto them. And HaWah dealt well with the midwife, and the people multiplied. Oh, okay, so it says, for they are lively and are delivered ere or before the midwife come into them. So they say, hey, these women popping off, they be having the babies before we even get here. And HaWah has dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared HaWah, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born, you shall cast him into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. Then they do a duplication of this story, with the whole JC in the New Testament, King Herod and all that, trying to kill the firstborn sons. I mean, talk to Yosef, man. Phantom, a duplication, man. Yosef the real got the drop, man. Let's go to chapter 2. Let's keep popping off in Exodus, this Tanahk only session. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and he took a wife of the daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed in the slime and with pitch. And she put the child therein, and laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood far off to know what would be done to him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe in the river, and her maidens walked along by the river side. And she saw the ark among the flags, and sent for her handmaid to fetch it. And she opened it and saw even the child, and behold, a boy that wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then said his sister to the Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And the maiden went and called the child's mother. So she didn't know that this was the child's mom. So immediately the Most High put Moshe right back in the bosom of his mother. Hey, Halal HaWah. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And the maiden went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, "Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages." And the woman took the child and nursed it, and the child grew. And she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moshe, and said, "Because I drew him out of the water." We get the baby out the bathwater, man. We get to drop out the water. Verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown up, and he went out unto his brethren, and looked at all their burdens, and saw an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he smote the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And he went out on the second day, and behold, 2 men of the Hebrews were striving together. And he said to them that did the wrong, "Wherefore smitest thou your fellow? Why you hitting your brother?" And he said, "Who made you a ruler and a judge over us? Moses? Thinking thou to kill me, as thou killed the Egyptian?" And Moses feared and said, "Surely the thing is known." Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. In the book of Jasher, even Reuel, or Jethro, Zipporah's pops, he also sought to slay Moshe, because he didn't buy Moses' story about getting an honorable discharge from being the king of Cush for 40 years. Yeah, Moses was the king of Cush. We got to put our story together. In the book of Jasher, he was the king of Cush for 40 years, got an honorable discharge because he didn't want to lay with the Cushite woman and kind of break his code, you know what I mean? So he got an honorable discharge, then got pulled the direction of Reuel and Zipporah, but Reuel didn't believe, his story, so he put him in a dungeon. And he was in a dungeon for 10 years, and nobody checked for the Hebrew man. Nobody checked for Moshe. You mad somebody ain't checking for you? Nobody checked for the Hebrew man. 10 years in a dungeon. And then he came out and saved Israel. He came out and popped off in his 60s, man. 70s. He led the charge of the Exodus in his 60s and 70s. After being the king of Cush for 40 years, getting prepared for war. All that was preparation. 40 years as the king of Cush. Man, read the book of Jasher, man. It's great. We in Exodus chapter 2. Let's pick it up right here. Verse 15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. He sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. Talking about Jethro, Reuel. And they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them. And he watered the flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How is it you come so soon today?" And they said, "An Egyptian delivered us out the hand of the shepherds," letting us know that Moses, although he's Hebrew, has the same complexion as Egyptians, man. Because they mistook him for an Egyptian. But now you got Russell Crowe playing Moses in Hollywood. How many white Moseses? Charleston such and such, something like Charleston Hutch, whatever his name is. How many white Moseses, man? But he got mistaken for an Egyptian. But they'll say Egypt was white too, right? Because Atlantis was white, right? And of course they'll say all the Hebrews are white, right? They have to. Let's go. Verse 18, and when they came to Reuel their father, he said, "How did you come so soon?" And said, "An Egyptian delivered us out the hand of the shepherds, and moreover he drew water for us and watered the flock." And he said unto his daughters, "Where is he? Why is it that you have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread." And Moses was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. So they skipped over the entire 10 years. Reuel put him in a dungeon, according to the book of Jasher. Zipporah was the only one feeding him. And when she asked to free the man, Reuel said, "You think he's still alive? You think that fool's still alive after 10 years? If he's still alive, he's free." But little did they know, he wasn't no fool. He kept the code. And Zipporah, even though she wasn't an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? She was the only one, that was sent by HaWah, to keep him sustained, man, so that he can be free. And then he came and saved Israel, right? He was sent, by our Creator to guide us out of captivity, to lead us out of captivity. See, it's all good to have a leader, even though, of course, ultimately HaWah is our leader, but HaWah sends us guidance, guides, those to deliver us in these situations, man. The prester flow, the function. The prester is not your savior, but your savior, HaWah, sent the prester, sent someone to bring you that water to water the flock, like King David. King David is shepherd forever. Ezekiel 34, Ezekiel 37, one shepherd. What does David got to do with Moshe? Oh, we'll get back to the Prester John investigation. For my advanced wave surfers, man, at Drop Nation, what it do? Halal HaWah. And for all my, Nagas just tapping in, man, A-hop to you, because your new energy, you always make it fresh for us, man, and we need that water, and those that are investigating for the first time. So A-hop to all the new wave surfers. I know we don't, shout out all my new Nagas over here enough, man, but we do feel your presence, and hey, man, we need all the energy, because we are the collective. We are the collective. Let's get it. So they skipping over the dungeon, but all right. Now Moses got support. Now in the book of Jasher, Moses had to pull out the sapphire stick or the emerald staff. And just like the Excalibur's sword in King Arthur, only one person could pull it out, right? And Moses was able to pull it out, and that's when Reuel knew to give his daughter Zipporah. So they're skipping over all that story, but let's pick it up. Verse 22, and she bore a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Wow. And where's Moses' children today? Think about that. Where are the Meshikans, the Moshe Khan? And it came to pass in the course of those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came unto HaWah by reason of the bondage. And we in bondage today. How much they take out your taxes? 25%, 30%. Where's it going? You got no authority over it. You got no say so. There's no accountability. You're in bondage, my nigga. Where's your land? Your land. Your free land. Not the land you buying. Where's your land? We buying land just to feel like we have our land. But we don't have our land, not if we have to buy it. We know it's all our land, but I'm just saying, like, we have to buy it. Our land has not been returned to us yet. We haven't gotten our land. We're strangers in a strange land because we don't recognize nothing around here. Everything's changed, right? But HaWah heard our cry in the bondage. And even though some had given up, there's a few remnant Nagas still holding down the press to function, bringing water to the flock. And they cried to the Creator still. They were crying to the Creator, and He heard them in bondage. And HaWah heard their groaning, verse 24. And HaWah remembered His covenant. How can HaWah remember His covenant unless you keep the code, unless you keep the covenant? We say 9 code because, in the 10 commandments, commandment 1 and 2 carry the same transgression. And they just kind of added, another number to it. But all that number 1 is no power before your power. That's the same transgression. No gods, no idols, no graven images. Don't bow down to them. Don't worship no hijacks. That's all it is. No power before me. So that's a 9 code. That gets you back in your 9 spiral. The Catholic Church extends the last two into or last 1 into 2. So I think they flip off the covetous and they turn it into another commandment. Like it's crazy. So the Christians flip the first one, and the Catholics flip the 9th one into 2 to get you out your 9 code. All that to get you off your spiral, my nine. But when you keep the code, you got the covenant, even in captivity, at your lowest frequency. You could be at your highest vibration, and HaWah can remember His covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And HaWah saw the children of Israel, and HaWah took cognizance of them. HaWah can see you, baby. He can see His children. Amma can smile on you because you're trying, man. You're trying, man. We're trying, boss, man. We may not have our days and times together, but ain't no point in bickering and arguing about it. We might all agree on the same name and vibration of the Creator, but there ain't no point in bickering about it. Keep the code, put no power before your power. Let's do this together, because unity is our greatest weapon. Chapter 3 for the dismount, Exodus chapter 3. Now Moshe was keeping the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the farthest end of the wilderness and came to the mountain of HaWah unto Horeb, and the dragon of HaWah appeared. They say angel, but you already know. The dragon of HaWah appeared unto him in a flame of fire. Wow. A man with wings or a dragon in a flame of fire. Seraphim. Out of his midst of a bush. So this dragon appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will turn aside now and see the great sight, why the bush is not burned. And when HaWah saw that he turned aside to see, HaWah called unto him out of the midst of the bush. And he said, Moses, Moses. He said, here I am. And he said, draw not nigh hither. Put off your shoes from off your feet. For the place where you stand is holy ground. You in the mountain of HaWah. Oh, this that burning bush. Did you know it was lit by a dragon? Because the dragon of HaWah appeared unto him in a flame of fire out the midst of the bush. And behold, the bush burned with fire. So yeah, that's the HaWah Trakan flame, man. Hey, man. We just surfing the wave. For the place you stand is holy ground. Verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am HaWah of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of HaWah. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Creator. And HaWah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people that are in America, that are in Egypt, that are in bondage, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their pains, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, pearls and gold, my noggin. Cities of gold, flowing with milk and honey, into the place of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, the Jebusite. Psalms 83 Confederacy. This is why they mad, son. This is why they mad. This is it right here, man. It's all over land. It's a more and more war. So they made a confederacy against Hasharah. They made they made a covenant. You know what I'm saying? They made a treaty so that we can't remember who we are no more. Because of what? They want the land. They want the vortexes. They want the milk and honey. The promised land, right? Not their promised land, your promised land. Because HaWah didn't promise them nothing. HaWah's always talking to the tribe of Hasharallah. Khan, you're supposed to be the head and not the tail. Khan, I am come to deliver them out the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, a large good land, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite, Perizzite, Hivite, Jebusite. Psalms 83, right? This is who Noble Drew Ali was doing it for, right? The Moabite, the Canaanite, the Amorite. Come, it's been a more and more war. They call Joshua the robber because they're like, yeah, he came into our place. Nah, that wasn't order for you to be there. Just like it wasn't order for Atlantis to be here. That's why it got destroyed. Khan. That's why Egypt got destroyed. Khan. But you still only move around with permission of the pharaohs, which means the pharaohs are in hiding. That means these niggas went underground. That means they be using other people as straw man. while they pulling the strings. Because Pharaoh still need to give y'all permission to move and walk around the Cube in Indiana. Do your migrations, huh? Somebody say, what does that got to do with time travel? Which way are they circling this cube, which represents the earth? Because in Platonic science, Ahab to the Templar, the cube represents the earth. So when they walk around this cube, are they doing something with future and time and, what's really happening? How many times do they go around it? What's happening, boss? What are they doing with the magnetism, electromagnetism of the earth? What are they doing? Verse 9, and now behold, the cry of the children of Israel is coming to me. Moreover, I have seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, talking Moshe, that thou may bring forth my people, the children of Hasharah, out of bondage. Come on. And Moses said unto HaWah, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh, that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, certainly I will be with you, Moshe, and this shall be the token unto thee that I have sent you when you have brought forth the people out of bondage, out of Egypt. You shall serve HaWah upon this mountain. Right. Then later you saw the mountain popping off with thundering and lightning, all that dragon energy. And Moshe said unto HaWah, behold, when I come into the children of Israel, listen up. When I come into the children of Israel and shall say unto them, the power of your fathers has sent me unto you. They shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? Verse 14. And HaWah said unto Moshe, I am. That's what I am. Now they translate it, I am that I am, as the full name of the creator or something. He's saying, I am. I exist. Tell him I exist. That's what I am. I exist. I exist. That's what I do. That's what I be. That's what I'm on. I am that I am. It is what it is. You are who you are. I am is HaWah, to exist, a Hebrew primitive root word. HaWah means to exist, to be. And we know every time they're translating out of this Lord business, it's coming back to existence, which is HaWah, which they falsely translate as Heya, but Heya does not predate HaWah. That's why the lands are all named after HaWah. All these big lands. Hawaii. Ki HaWah. You got the prophets. You got the warriors. Josh HaWah. Yesh HaWah. Whether it's spelled UA or OA, all that is HaWah. HUA. HaWah. HAWA. HAWAH. 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 I am that I am. It's HaWah. HaWah. Tell them HaWah. HaWah sent you. And he said, thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you. So if the full name was I am that I am, and then he comes and says in verse 14, tell the children of Israel, tell Hasharallah, I am has sent me unto you. Then what did he do? Shorten his name? It's I am. It's wow. It's existence. It's to be, to become, to manifest, my God. To exist is I am HaWah. I am. I am. You don't say I want to be great. You say I am great. You don't say I want to have a good day. I hope I have a good day. You say I am having a great day. I am is existing. That's you manifesting existence. HaWah. And HaWah said unto Moses, I am that I am. Verse 14. He says, thus shall the children of Israel say, or thus shall you say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you. HaWah has sent me unto you. Verse 15, and HaWah said moreover unto Moshe, thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, HaWah, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, existence, to be. I am. We say most high over everything. Image of HaWah. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say unto them, HaWah, the power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has appeared unto me, saying, I have surely remembered you. How has HaWah remembered you if you're not listening, if you're not in code? So this means that even in Egypt back then, there were some code keepers that were able to be heard. The cries were heard. HaWah was able to listen, and they were able to manifest their freedom because HaWah heard them. How? Because they kept the code. He said, I feel a frequency rising over here. I feel a upgrade. I feel some choosing upness, man. I feel some pop offness, man. I feel that pure water. That water. Because you ain't killing your brother no more. You ain't stealing from your bro, your sister no more. You're not bearing false witness on your brother, your sister no more. You back in code. You got no idols, no Christmas trees, no none of that pagan rituals popping off. You back on your feast days. You popping off all week with your family, celebrating life, not death. HaWah can hear you now. HaWah can hear us now. For the dismount Tanahk only sessions by night. Verse 18, and they shall hearken to your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, unto the president of the United States of America, and you shall say unto him, HaWah, the power of the Hebrews has met with us. This the elders talking. This the elders talking. And now let us go. We pray you 3 days journey into the wilderness that we may sacrifice to HaWah our power. And I know that the king of Egypt will not give you leave to go except by a mighty hand. He don't want you calling on the creator in no type of way. Except by a mighty hand. Verse 20, and I will put forth my hand, not JC, not Muhammad, the creator, personally, And if you're looking for a shepherd, it's King Dawid, Hosea 3. For the dismount, Halal HaWah. This the good part, my naga. Listen up. This the good part, man. You made it for the dismount. Here's some sweet tasting milk and honey. So this hijacked Pharaoh's not gonna let you go unless I put forth a mighty hand. So I'm gonna put forth my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders. Oh, they want to make their plagues on us. Just look out when it all pops off. They'll be plaguing themselves with all my wonders, which I do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. After I get with this hijack, he gonna have to let you go. And you know what you gonna get? You know what you gonna get out the way on the way out the door when Pharaoh let you go? When Pharaoh let you go, you know what you gonna get on the way out the door? Oh, you ain't gonna go empty-handed. And that hijack ain't gonna go full-handed. They gonna have to back. You're gonna have to strip that hijack. Because they ain't gonna let you go unless I put forth my mighty hand and present my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. Verse 21, and I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Let's go. So you ain't just gonna have to hustle and bustle to get some land, my naga. Hawah's gonna give you favor in the sight of these hijacks, the worst of them, that had the hardest heart, that didn't see nothing, that didn't see clearly. You thought they'd never understand. Hawah's gonna give you favor in their heart and their eyes. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. They're gonna have favor for you, for us. Hasharah. And it shall come to pass that when you go, you shall not go empty. When we go out of bondage, we will not be empty-handed. When you go, you shall not go empty, but every woman shall ask of her neighbor and ask of her that sojourneth in her house jewels of silver, jewels of gold, raiment, and you shall put them upon your sons. The garments will be returned on the way out of Egypt. Upon your daughters, and you shall spoil the Egyptians, which means you're gonna strip their ass, strip their behinds of all the, think about it, land, everything. They're gonna be happy to give you everything. They're gonna be happy to break themselves as you exit bondage. Now you could think of this metaphysically if you want to, but my naga, no revolution popped off. Without the mighty hand having to be laid down. You know what I'm saying? No hijack's ever just gonna give you everything they think is theirs because they stole it, right? No hijack has ever had a change of heart. No hijack nation has ever changed. Never in the history of Hijackville has a hijack nation did a 180 and repented. I'll wait. It seems like the hijacks keep being a hijack, you know? But these hijacks, they're going to have favor on you because verse 21, I will give these Israelites favor in the sight of the Egyptians, of all these hijacks. Even in captivity, they'll be favored. And these Egyptians going to start breaking themselves. Whatever you ask, it says, but every woman shall ask of her neighbor, meaning the Egyptian, and of her that sojourns in her house, jewels of silver, jewels of gold. So for all her neighbors, they're gonna you're gonna break. They're gonna get broke. They're gonna get spoiled, but not because you giving them anything, because they're giving you everything. Like spoiled milk, spoiled like that. They'll be spoiled. They'll be rotten because they won't have nothing else. All that land they stole, they gotta give it up. They're gonna give you boats. They're gonna give you airplanes. They're gonna give you everything, because Hawa's gonna give you favor. Because Hawa hears you, because you have returned. You have kept the code. And that's how you raise your frequency. And that's how you escape captivity. Tanahk. Only session. Wow. Halal HaWah to the tribe. Keep raising up your vibe. Keep on cool. You know what I'm saying? Let the tribe up music lift you up. Let your brother, your sister lift you up. Lift yourself up. Cause you are, cause I am, and we are Drop Nation. Cause you got that water. Drop Nation got that water. Halal HaWah. Stay up. Suit up. And keep choosing up, my Naga. We've been doing this for a while. We've been at this for a while. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to have progress. Discipline. Consistency. We still flowing no matter what we're going through. We bouncing back every time. And it feels good, man, to know I got a whole tribe out there making the same Naga moves as I'm making, man. Getting your families ready. Seeing clearly together. Dropping the egos, dropping the attitudes. Dropping the divisions and being unified by all means necessary, man. I ain't your enemy, boss. You ain't gotta like me, but I ain't your enemy, you know what I'm saying? You ain't my enemy. I ain't gotta be feeling you, but you ain't my enemy, you know what I'm saying? And once we get out of each other's way, then we have a straight path, a united path. We could walk side by side, man, out of captivity, out of bondage, where all these hijacks gonna be giving you their gold, their silver, their houses. They're gonna be giving you everything you ask for, because Hawa's gonna show you favor in their eyes. Their hearts are gonna turn to you. They're gonna get in line. They're gonna follow, you know what I'm saying, whatever beautiful path Hawa gives, for them to code up. We hope all hijacks can code up, but they're gonna follow whatever beautiful path Hawa lays out for them to be of use, of service. Because every kingdom has servants. Hey, just read Isaiah chapter 11. Every kingdom has servants, man. Yeah, your oppressor will serve you, my naga. Those that choose up. The best of your oppressor will serve you. Most of them will perish, but the best of your oppressor will serve you. The best of them, you know what I'm saying? The ones that truly choose up, humble out, see clearly. The best of your oppressor will serve you. Because you are the head and not the tail. Deuteronomy 28 tells us well. Well, hey, ShaLaWam to the cons, man. We did it again. ShaBat, ShaLaWam. Halal HaWah.